Everybody, welcome back to Over a Pipe. My name is Martin, and today I have a theory. Maybe. I'm actually smoking, after my first impressions video, some of the Bengal slices. Very good, very tasty. It's not quite the time of year where I really want to smoke a lot of Kia. And I don't think it's too in your face. But it is a very tasty blend. Very reminiscent of Seattle Pipe Club's plum pudding. But in today's video, I've actually got a theory concerning a lot of the topics about vacuum sealing in your food grade tins, all the different types of methods that you can do. And in this month's blends, I have both Bengal Slices, which is a vacuum seal tin, as well as Mad Fiddler Flake, which is a food grade tin. One of the things that, and this is just part of the theory that I have, both tins have significant differences in their reactions. Now, let's start with specifically the vacuum seal. With the vacuum seal, it is pressurized and air is sucked out of it to the point where the pressure is greater on the outside than it is on the inside, causing this typically to cave in. One unique thing you might notice if you have several tins of tobacco that are vacuum sealed, let's take, for instance, Bengal Slices or an Esoterica Margate or Pembroke. Over time, you will notice that you can still smell the tobacco through the tin. And in certain situations, you might go into your cellar or room, wherever you're storing your tobaccos, and you might still smell some of that tobacco. In fact, it might permeate where those tobaccos are. Well, why is that if it's vacuum sealed? Well, because the tobacco inside of this, as it's aging, is still, I believe, in a potential stasis of fermentation. While in that, it's going to expel gas. So pressure is going to push its way against the pressure from the outside. However, it's going to expel out of the tin, and the vacuum seal will come back. Now, there are moments at some point where a lot of people have just come to a tin and boom, it comes right open, and the vacuum seal has been lost. At some point, I think that will occur. I do think that will occur. I do think the seal will break down, the pressure will become unstable, and eventually it's no longer going to be vacuum sealed. Now, then it comes to the food grade. Now, with the food grade, it is not vacuum sealed. In fact, you can feel all kinds of air in this thing. And in fact, the air on the inside is so far pushing out. In most cases with a vacuum seal, one of the things you will notice because of the pressure inside is that typically you will not get a lot of movement in the tobacco inside. However, one that is not pressured sealed, but just food grade sealed, there's a lot of play. This is not always occurring, but it is reminiscent of what can occur. Now, some of the things that people will notice in a food grade seal or in a food grade tin is that these will begin to bulge. And in fact, they bulge and deform into almost an obscene looking tin. One that if it was a can of SpaghettiOs on your shelf, you probably wouldn't go anywhere near it. But they will deform so much where they will bulge from the bottom and they will bulge from the top. Now, why in this scenario is that occurring? The reason for it is that as the fermentation, as the tobacco releases gas during the fermentation process, it will naturally expel out of this tin. However, it will not expel out of this tin, creating increased pressure as the gas is released from the tobacco. The other thing you'll find is that if you have some of these tins that have sat for extremely long time, you might actually find rust inside of these tins, which is not necessarily hazardous. I wouldn't recommend smoking rust, but each to their own. Whereas in these tins, you typically will not see any rust inside. Again, that is because any moisture that's expelled during that fermentation process will be able to come out of the tin. In this case, it's not being released out of the tin. So all that moisture is inside, and in fact, that moisture is being pressed up against the interior of the tin where it is bulging. That's my theory. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I close? Am I on it? Anybody out there that's a scientist? Would love to get your opinions. Until next time, though, my name's Martin from Over a Pipe. I hope y'all have a great one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We will see you soon. Scientists in the pipe community.